It is not disputed that at different times in this long history, more than 2,000 years, Tibet came under various degrees of foreign influence. When the People's Liberation Army of China invaded in 1949, Tibet was an independent state in fact and law. In April 1951, the Tibetan government sent a 5-member delegation to Beijing, which expressly had no authority to conclude an agreement. Under immense Chinese pressure and threat, the Tibetan delegation signed the 17-point agreement. With China's full knowledge, they had no power to bind the Dalai Lama and the Tibetan government to it. Ever since, China has repeatedly referred to this agreement, among other motives, to justify the entry into Tibet of Chinese forces and the intrusion into external affairs. In June 1959, after his escape to India, the Dalai Lama formally repudiated the 17-point agreement as having been thrust upon the Tibetan government and people by the threat of arms. Until today, China's relentless destruction of religion in Tibet saw the loss of 6,000 monasteries and countless religious artifacts in the name of the Cultural Revolution. Possibly the Tibetan issue goes beyond the fate of the Tibetan people. What if Asia came to realize that it's a shared responsibility to preserve this land where the sources of 5 major rivers in Asia are found? What if the world were to understand that the natural resources of the Tibetan plateau belong to its native inhabitants who daily put into practice their philosophy of compassion and tolerance? When will the world act to create a free China, where Tibetans and other independent cultural groups govern themselves, mirroring the collapse of the Soviet Union? As these images show, a ghost of Tibetan culture still survives in Tibet and is strictly controlled by the occupying Chinese forces, who have been intentionally removed from the frame. The Potala Palace itself is no more than a museum, and the Yogong Temple is a zoo exhibiting some remnants of the Tibetan beliefs and cultures. This film only focuses on what's left of the true Tibet, showing how they still exist. It represents the only way left for Tibetans to keep believing in a free, genuine, and independent Tibet. But the day shall come when this footage also will belong to the past, along with the Tibetans and their 2,000-year-old culture based on peaceful compassion and balance.